this is a live look at Carter Finley Stadium in Raleigh, North Carolina. What a scene this is, a veritable cavalcade of colors, stripe after stripe that they hope leaves the visitors dizzy. It's the South Carolina Gamecocks and the NC State Wolfpack. Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with you. Holly Rowe down on the sidelines, and Holly, a little familiarity in this one.
Checking in with the Gamecocks head coach before the game. This team has continued to shine, and he said his message to them in the locker room before the game was, this is our opportunity. They were not ranked to start the season and have continued to play their way into the conversation, but every week gets a little harder. He wants intensity and focus right out of the gate to prove to the world we belong, and we're going to keep making noise this season. Back to you.
Holly, thank you. Can't wait to see how this one unfolds. And the Gamecocks ready to put toe to leather, and here we go. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So the NC State Wolfpack offense is on the field and ready to start the game. This is a big-time quarterback that we're going to be seeing today, but getting the job done against a defense like this, what words of wisdom do you have for him, Jesse?
Well, I think you've got to prepare like you've never prepared before, and that's one thing he told us. He spent extra time in the film room. He spent extra time on the field after practice all week, because I think he understands the challenge that lies ahead of him. He knows this is easily the best defense that they face this year, so we're going to put his skills to the test in this one.
They're going to make it hard, right? There's not going to be any layups. Like most of the time, you know, he's had his way. He's feasted on so many defenses. They're going to make you earn it. They're going to make you go the length of the field. They're going to see if you can be patient. They're going to see how you respond to adversity. So some challenges coming his way for sure.
The play fake. Finds his big tight end. Still on his feet at the 45. And an explosive play has him on the move, and he gets it all the way to the 48-yard line. NC State might want to keep slinging it after that last big play. Sets his feet. It's Bailey. Hauls it in. Made a defender miss. Across the 25. He's got room. Touchdown! Wolfpack rolling into the end zone, and this crowd was eating it up.
When you have so many playmakers on offense like they do, they can score quickly. You just saw it right there.
And the PAT makes it 7-0. Quick strike offense on that three-play scoring drive. And the capper coming on that 48-yard touchdown dart. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. So the South Carolina Gamecocks offense coming on the field, and we'll get our first look at them in this one. Few guys in the sport have the physical skill, size, and speed of Nick Harbor. He's a good route runner, good solid hands, and a big part of this passing attack.
And there was times during the week when we were texting. We have a group text for these games every single week, and we talk about different guys. And this receiver, we were like, is the tape in fast motion? Like, this dude is flying out wide. Like, this is a guy that legit has that take the top off the defense speed, elite speed. Palmer, this is a guy that defenses, and talking to the coaches, they are extremely worried about.
Yeah, the D coordinator in this game told us he just hasn't slept much this week, knowing how fast this guy is and just how he can score any given play. And they've got to do a really good job in this one communicating, understanding where he is, but making sure there is at least one safety playing deep, because you know this guy is going to get his opportunities deep down the field.
They'll snap it from the 39, 1st and 10. Looking for space, it's McAllister.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
Here's Sellers to throw. Setting up the screen. Breaks into the open. Gets the ball up to the 50-yard line, and it'll be 1st down.
And I think it's safe to say Lenora Sellers, David, probably one of the most polarizing players in all of college football. You've seen how special and freakishly talented this guy is with his ability not just throwing the football, but running it, The strength, the size, the power, and more than anything, what we saw a year ago was his ability to avoid sacks and avoid negative plays. I know this. He doesn't have a chance unless this offensive line gets a lot better, but they believe they've built that up. And if that's the case, this could be a very special year for South Carolina.
Well, and let's be honest. This is where they spent their money in the offseason. They wanted to fortify the offensive line. They brought in Kendall Briles at the coordinator spot. They did everything they could to build around this young man. Lenore Sellers
makes a grab and room to run. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down.
And, man, this is exactly what you want as a play caller. You want to get your quarterback settled, give him some bunnies early to make some plays so he's feeling bulletproof. 4 for 4 to start the game. Yes, please. Offensive coordinator Jesse, I'm giving him an A+ so far for checking those boxes.
Well, he's done a good job getting his quarterback prepped for this one, too, because watching this guy throw the ball, he's making quick decisions, and he's throwing the ball with a lot of conviction. You can tell this guy watched a lot of answers to the test early in this game.
And, man, you love to see that from this offense, coming out and answering, right? Like putting a drive together. Their defense just gave up a touchdown, but you want to snatch the momentum back. Nice job putting a little bit of a drive together. Now let's go cap this thing off with a touchdown.
The offense trying to throw it there quickly down close to the goal line. Nice job by the defense tackling the catch.
And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, South Carolina! Extra point here will tie the game. And they did tack on that extra point with no problem. They go 83 yards on the drive, and he found his way to the end zone from the 7 to cap it. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Looking to throw, it's Bailey. Can't hold on in the face of the contact.
No, and that's your goal. Separate man from ball. Try to get your shoulder in there on the catch point and really give him something to think about. Physically jar that football and knock it out. Nice job by the defender.
They'll throw again after the incompletion. Got maybe a yard, 3rd down and 9 coming.
Offenses don't like being in these situations. They don't like having little success on 1st and 2nd down because now you know I got to pass the football. I got to air it out. It makes me really predictable. So let's make sure you take care of the football and find those plays you really like.
Complete to the right. And he was off to the races. Finally tripped up at the 36.
As a head coach, you love it when your quarterback is locked in early. Opening drive, throws a touchdown pass. Really nice throw on that last play. Here in the second drive, he's firing on all cylinders. You can tell this guy did his homework coming into this game, and right now it's paying off.
And that's the beauty of this offense and this playmaker at wide receiver. Throw the ball short, but what he does after the catch, he's just got so much speed, so dynamic with the football.
And it'll be intercepted in the end zone. They finally get him down, but a huge return. Not only do they get the ball back, but man, did they set up some field position. Quarterback stands alone, all wide receivers. Quarterback changing the play. Sellers. Hauls it in. And after the tackle, we are headed to the end of the first quarter. First quarter in the books. Let's see what kind of numbers these two wide receivers are putting up. They fought to a standstill in the first. Let's see if someone can get the edge in the second quarter. Back to throw, it's Sellers. Snags it. They get him on the ground, but it'll be enough to pick up the first down.
And quarterback, receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
They'll send the back in motion. Runs through the tackle. He's loose. Defense comes up with a stop, but not before he moves the chains and takes it inside the 10 to the 8. The Gamecocks have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. From the red zone, it's Howell. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Gamecocks.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
Not a chance he lets that one go. He's bringing it out. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. The Wolfpack offense comes out ready to start this drive. That last possession, a prime example, Jesse, of how things get condensed in the red zone.
Hard to throw when the window...
Snags it, and there's running room. And the big fella couldn't elude the cornerback who makes a sure tackle.
The number one goal as a defense is try to hit the QB as many times as possible. Try to rattle him. Try to get him flustered a little bit. Nice job getting there, getting the hit on him, but nice job of executing by the quarterback. Taking the hit, delivering the strike.
Couldn't fight his way out of his grasp.
Stopping the run is very high on every defensive coordinator's list. Making the team one-dimensional. Nice job stuffing the run on that play right there.
He'll try to get to the marker himself. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and what a big third down stop by this defense. Looks as if NC State will have to punt it away. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. They'll field this one in tight quarters. The pursuit and coverage was there, and they swarm him under for no gain. South Carolina's offense heads out to get this drive started. They've come out smoking with touchdowns on each of their first 2 drives, and they're back to work now. Tackle behind the line, and he'll lose one on the play.
And that's a great play by the defensive end. The best athletes on the field play defensive end. You can ask anybody. Yes, I agree. Jesse agrees. See, they agree with me. Same thing. But you watch them get off the football, make the play. That's why you put your athletes there.
They'll ride him again. Hit and drop behind the line. He'll lose a yard.
They're trying to run the football, and there's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
He's changing the play. Sellers from the gun on 3rd down. Trying to get behind the defense. Knocked away at the last minute, and that is precision defensive back play there.
Well, the defense finally has figured it out. That was...
Guys, look at this. They're going to gamble and go for it here on 4th and long. Fourth down, Sellers. And the incomplete pass, they roll the dice. Snake eyes. On the run, it's Scott. Swamped immediately.
This offense has really struggled, and I think you're just waiting for one play, one explosive play to happen to hopefully galvanize you a bit offensively. That's not the case, and there, they try to run the football in the first.
Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42.
And you're seeing the pass rush on the second play of the drive. They dial it up. Look at the speed and athleticism this defense has as they corral the quarterback for a loss.
They'll come to the line at the 42, facing a 3rd and long. Can't hang on after the hit, and it'll be 4th down. NC State to bring the punt team onto the field. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. And the punt hits at the 6, and they can't down it, and it'll be a touchback. The Gamecocks offense heads out to see what they can put together here. They were really aggressive going for it in their own end last time and put them in a tough spot, David.
Yeah, aggressive, reckless. They got to find the balance with this offense to really be productive. And last possession they went for it, they rolled the dice, Palmer, and it didn't work out for them.
Yeah, if you're better on third down moving forward, though, you can keep yourself out of those situations.
Long way to go on second down. Throwing, Sellers. Back's got it on the screen. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never develops.
And I love linebackers, man, that just have a nose for the football, an absolute feel. Great job not losing vision, feeling the running back start to come out of the backfield to catch the football, and then doing the most important part. Probably the hardest, too, getting him on the ground.
Feels as if the whole city of Raleigh is trying to help out the pack on third down. Out wide right, it's Harbor. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short. Now the Wolfpack will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. They're in their own territory. This is why you square your prominent jawline and go straight ahead to get it. He's got enough for the first down, and they might get some extra. It looked like a face mask to me.
Personal foul, face mask,
I'm not sure he knew he had the face mask there, tried to let it go in time, but couldn't. It's a penalty on the defense. This offense has a 1st and 10. They are flat bailed out by the defensive penalty. And a nice run there before the defense finally makes the stop.
If I'm building an offense in today's football, it's not around a quarterback that can't run. I'm going to find an athlete that I can give the ball because defensively, it starts to limit your coverages. It starts to limit what I can do. It makes me play the quarterback every single play. Just makes your job as a defensive coordinator extremely hard.
Here's Sellers to throw. Out wide left, it's McAllister. Just keep giving him the easy catches until they do something to stop it.
Yeah, you're going to dictate to the defense. You're going to make the defense cover him up, and then obviously it leaves the middle of the field a little bit more wide open for receiver for a tight end. So QB keeps...
Makes the catch, and he's free. A likely touchdown-saving tackle, but the catch and run takes it down to the 7. Timeout called by NC State. That's their second. And they'll still have 1 in their pocket for what's left in this first half. On the move. He bullies his way all the way down to the 5-yard line. The Gamecocks spend the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. Picked up some of what they needed on first down. Now it's 2nd and goal from the 5. Beck's going for the goal line. And he's in. Touchdown, Gamecocks.
And how big is that for this offense? Put a nice drive together, get the touchdown, add to this lead already. Everything right now, Palmer, going their way.
Yeah, that was as good a 2-minute type situation as you could have offensively. And David, they've got so many weapons on this offense. They practice these situations all the time, and they put it to work here at the end of the first half.
Just able to get out to the 18-yard line on the return before he stopped. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. Back to throw, it's Bailey. He tries to take the top off. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on.
Yeah, and I love taking deep shots. I think it makes cornerbacks play honest, safeties play honest, and you could tell just missed a little bit deep on that shot. But listen, those are shots that we want to take because the risk is definitely worth the reward.
Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. Looking left. Got there right as the ball did. Jarred it loose. It'll be third down.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
They make the stop. It'll be fourth down. The defense does have a timeout to use if they want to try to put up points before the half. The Wolfpack will line up to punt it away. They'll look to pin him deep. Makes a move. Can they catch him? They were playing with fire on that return, and he got loose for a good return of better than 30 yards. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for one or two more plays. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Throws for the tight end. The pass is incomplete, and the clock will stop with 5 seconds left.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him, and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have a chance to be complete.
One more snap coming before halftime. Looking downfield, it's Bailey. Got out of trouble and throws. He's got the tight end. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands. Defender got caught, little handsy with that jersey, and it'll cost him. Fresh set of downs going up top. He wants to go deep. He can haul it in. Incomplete. They took a shot, but that's how we'll wrap up the half. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Gents, the cream is rising to the top here 7 weeks in. Let's take a look at today's action. We start with Arizona taking on the San Diego State Aztecs. Back to your game inside Carter Finley Stadium. Back and forth we've gone so far, and these numbers, it's funny, third down conversions don't always tell the story. Maybe staying out of those situations in the second half is the safest pathway to victory. And with that, let's send it back to the fellas in Carter Finley Stadium.
All right, Kevin, about ready to start the second half here. North Carolina State will kick it off to open the third quarter. And he takes this from inside the 5. tackled and brought down right at the 20-yard line. Good coverage there. As we start the second half, what do you have for us, Holly?
Coming out of the locker room, the Gamecocks head coach told me, he says this all the time, but the team that holds on to the football and rushes the best usually wins the game, and that's what this team has done in the first half. The running back has been terrific, great ball security, and offense now taking the field. They expect to continue that dominant run game here on offense to start the third. Guys?
Okay, Holly. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Keeps it on the ground. And he's brought down after a short gain.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Could not make his way to the corner. The Wolfpack faithful screaming at the top of their lungs, desperate for a third down stop. Sellers through the noise. Oh, it's picked off. That's not the start they hoped for. Oh, he's got some space. And they capitalized not only on the pick, but on the great return to improve this field position. NC State sending the offense back onto the field. Trying to run, it's Scott. Stopped at the 13-yard line as they try to turn this into points. Operating in the red zone here on second down. They make the tackle, but not before he picks up the first down.
I like a nice quick decision by your quarterback. See what the defense is doing, and again, know where that yellow line is. Go get to it and get the first down.
Left side, it's Jackson. Great job on the containment and the tackling. They stop him for no gain. And lost ground on first down. Now second and goal from the 5. On the option. Now the pitch. Touchdown, Wolfpack. Excellent pass by the back on the option. When you're handed a break with unbelievable field position like that, you better finish the deal, and they did.
You saw the quarterback jog on the field. I think he gave a high five to every one of those players coming off that just put them in position to go score that touchdown. That QB knew this was a golden opportunity, and boy, he took advantage of it.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. They just saw their lead cut in half, and now they'll try to answer. Keeps it himself. The pitch. And that might have been a bad read as the defense just swarms all over the pitch man.
And I think that time the quarterback made the wrong read. He was trying to pitch it. He didn't have to, though. There was a lot of green grass and space out in front of him. If he just holds on to that football, he might not score a touchdown. He's definitely going to be able to at least get positive yards. I think that's a play on the option the quarterback would like to have back.
Just gets it to the 20, a pickup of 1.
And what a great job by the defense here. First down, second down, 2 straight runs. They stuffed both. And that was a big key for them coming into this game. They want to set up third and long situations. And now those edge rushers can pin their ears back to get after the quarterback. They can mix up into...
Picked off. What a way to set him up.
Well, the good news is after that second pick of the third quarter now for this guy, they're still winning the game, but they are living dangerously right now. And they can't expect to hold on to that. This guy keeps making bad decisions like we've seen here now in the first period of the second half.
And it's got to be frustrating because you...
Trying to take it back. He rumbles all the way down to the 2-yard line. He gave him a little bit of everything on that one. First and goal now as NC State tries to find a way to score. And this one falls incomplete, but I think the defense was in the neutral zone. It was a free play.
Offside. Defense.
And you got to focus, right? The first thing you're looking at as a defensive lineman, the first thing you understand is the ball starts with a snap count. I have to line up, see the ball. When the ball moves, I move. I know it's simple, but you still see guys jumping off sides all the time.
So the pop pass is busted up in the backfield for a loss.
Offense trying to go push pass on first down on the goal line, but the defense, tremendous surge up front. They get penetration, and they get the tackle for loss.
And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10.
How about that from the offense? Second and goal. Everything says you might run the football. They try to throw it, and man, was that unsuccessful. Sitting back in the pocket, just throw the football away. Don't take the sack. Don't go backwards, especially inside the 3-yard line. Set up in such good position.
Right through his hands. He had a touchdown and just didn't look the ball in. It'll be 4th down. Never a doubt. That'll bring him to within 4.
And this guy has been a machine all season long. He is absolutely automatic. You know you're getting 3 points when this guy jogs on the field.
South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. On the ground, it's Fuller. Forges ahead, picks up about 3 to the 29.
And I know that wasn't a big game, but this offense needed that, man. That back-to-back picks on back-to-back possessions, they got to get something going, get some good mojo, get everybody believing again, and settle their quarterback down.
Right side, it's Howell. He's down right there, short gain on the grab.
And I like a good check down as much as anybody. Survey the field, don't make a mistake, check it down to your running back, let him do the rest. But there was 2 guys right next to him. So that was actually a little bit of a dangerous throw, but you could tell they were definitely locked in, and they were not going to let that running back catch that football and go anywhere after the catch.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Motion from the wideout. RPO complete. And they'll drag him down. That's likely the last play of the 3rd quarter. Midway point in the season, and games like this one can have a big impact on the rankings from week to week as we see upsets happen and favorites continuing to flex muscle. One quarter to go, and might we have the makings of a classic 4th quarter finish. It'll be 2nd down as we open the final stanza. Handoff for Auguste. And he was able to run through 1 tackle, but still only a modest gain.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
They get him on the ground. The defense knew exactly where they had to stop him, and it's 4th down.
And just a great job by the defense being stout, right? That's your job. Be stout up front, stuff in the run play, make them get in more passing situations, but do not let them run the football. That's 101. Stop the run first.
Turning it on. Knocked down, but he's got enough to move the chains and convert that 4th down. Finally, some signs of life from this offense, which has done nothing in the second half. It's 1st and 10. They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play.
Great job of contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened.
Gets the back moving. Out wide right, it's McAllister. And they'll stop him just short of the 1st down, just inches away from moving the sticks.
Well, look, I know this guy is not the biggest running back in college football, but boy, is he dangerous, right? He's so shifty. He's hard to bring down. It's a good idea to get him going in the passing game. Put him out in space. Let's see what he can do.
And you hear people talk about the 4-minute offense all the time in football. What does that mean? That means you're getting 1st downs, running the clock, and just right now physically dominating up front. Nice job by this offense.
That completion will take them inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. So this offense with an opportunity to put this game in a hammerlock if they can score and bleed the clock. That touch pass went nowhere. Stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, the offense just trying to go with a little touch pass this time, down close to the goal line, giving it to the receiver and hoping his speed is going to be able to outflank the defense, but nowhere to run. Nice stop on the defensive side of the ball.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. He's knocked down a couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage.
It's looking like they're going to have to try to throw this one into the end zone here on 3rd down, David. Quarterback's got to be careful. Can't get greedy because you know these windows, they close fast.
Extremely tight windows. Find your big-body guys that you know can win in contested situations here.
Trying to get it in. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Gamecocks! They put another score on the board as they try to push this winning streak to 3.
And that is a drive and a score they absolutely had to have. Now making it a 2-possession game late in this one. It wasn't going to be enough to just play it safe, play it conservative, punt the ball away, and count on your defense. They were aggressive. They mixed it up, but getting that score, that is huge for their win probability now.
Gets it out to the 20, about 5 yards short of where he'd be if he'd just taken a knee in the end zone. North Carolina State has it back in the offense, headed to the field. Giving up that last touchdown was an absolute killer. Now it's a 2-possession game. They must get something here.
When you talk about versatility at the running back spot, you got to talk about this guy in the conversation. He already has caught a touchdown on this one. They're still trying to throw him the football. That one goes incomplete, but I would keep this up if I'm on offense.
Here comes the heat. Timed it perfectly to knock it free and forces the 3rd down.
Hey, man, if you're going to force incompletions when the QB's thrown to the tight end, you better be physical. Nice job with the hit, forcing that incompletion.
Drops back. It's Bailey. Rush right in his face. Working that left side. Good call, good execution as they move the chains and they have a 1st down at the 38. They absolutely had to have that 3rd down to keep any glimmer of hope alive.
And defensively, that's exactly what I want. Make you get the 3rd down. The clock is your enemy. Multiple possession lead. That is right where I want this offense.
2nd and long here. Finds his man on the RPO. There he goes. And perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle as they get him down at the 37. NC State on the move, set up with another 1st down.
And as a defense, how scary is it having to defend this guy? He's one of the fastest players in America, and you saw it on that last play. It's not necessarily throwing him the ball over your head. They just get it to him quickly. The hard part now is running and tackling that guy. Not easy to do.
The Wolfpack picked up that last 1st down with a completion. Let's see what they do here. Wide receiver comes in motion. Going to the run, it's Scott. Touchdown, North Carolina State! And they take it in for 6 more points. That's his 3rd touchdown of the game, and he just has 4 now on the season.
And listen, still a ways to go, but great job by this offense getting you back in the ball game. Now, we got a 1-possession game. We got our score. We did what we're supposed to do. Now, how do we get this stopped? Now, the defense has to come up big and get me the rock back.
Fielded in the end zone. It's Tuggle. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. South Carolina's offense heads out to get this drive started. Good news, I guess, a lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. Looking for a crease. The ball squirts free. And the defense jumps on it, and they get that turnover. The coach wants the officials to have another look at the monitor. Using a timeout here, thinks the call is going to end up going his way. This coach wanted to be absolutely certain on a challenge. He was right. The previous play will be overturned. Sees an alley. Finding a way to put that foot in the ground and get it up to the 37-yard line. And now the Wolfpack will call the first of their 3 timeouts. And now what will they come up with on this second down play? Timeout called by NC State. That's their second. And that got under their skin a little bit, having to use the TO after giving up the first down. And the Gamecocks come to the line with a new set of downs. Running inside, it's Clark. The Wolfpack uses its final timeout. They'll get together to decide how to play this second down. Didn't get much on first down, it's 2nd and 9. And they'll take a knee. It's one thing to execute early in the game. Tight ball game, right at the end, you need the clutch plays. These guys deliver.
You can't teach that gene. You have people that can focus in the moment or they can't. Great job.